We have an equation with some rational expressions inside of it, so our first job is to find that least common denominator. I'm going to focus all my energy on these denominators and find the common denominator. I'll write this down all the time as a point of reference. This denominator has an x, so I'll need an x. It has an x minus 2, so we'll need an x minus 2. Moving on to the next fraction, we see the denominator is x, so my LCD will need just a plain old x. It has that, so I don't need to include anything new. This fraction has an x minus 2, so I'll include that. It's already there. Don't need to worry about it. Now, I will take this LCD, I'll multiply every part of this equation by that LCD. I'll think about what cancels, and I'll write down what's left behind. So when I think about this fraction being multiplied by this LCD, the x's both cancel, the x minus 2's cancel, I'm just left with a 10. Plus, if I look at this expression and multiply by the LCD, what cancels? The x's cancel. So we're left with a 4 and an x minus 2. Looking at this last part, if I multiply this by the LCD, what cancels? These x minus 2's cancel. I'm left with a 5 and an x. So this is what I would write down on my paper. If anyone's not clear how this happened, let me show you really fast what my thought was doing. Like, for example, when I got this expression here, it was from this 4 over x being multiplied by this LCD. This is what was going on inside my brain. And I was saying these canceled off, leaving the 4 and the x minus 2 behind. This 5x came from the idea that I knew I would have a 5 and an x minus 2 from the original problem, multiplied by the x times x minus 2. I thought to myself, these x minus 2's cancel, so the 5x was left behind. So don't look quite so crazy if you don't look at all your thoughts, but if you can think about them clearly, that's crucial. At this point, I have an equation that I could solve since Algebra 1. I want to clean up this left side. That means getting rid of parentheses. That means combining like terms. So we'll have 10 plus a 4x minus 8 equals a 5x. Before I move things from one side of the equation to the other, it's always a good idea to simplify as much as you can. This 10 and negative 8 are on the same, they should be combined to make a positive 2. So I have 4x plus 2 equals 5x. Now I'll move all the x's to one side, giving me 2 on this side equals x. So it seems like my answer should be x equals 2. But there's a problem. Is that a safe answer? Is it safe? It is not safe. That's not a safe answer. If I take 2 and I revisit these denominators, I can see that that value for x will make a denominator equal 0. And we can't let that happen. If you plug 2 in here, 2 minus 2 is 0. That gives you 0 in the denominator. That can't happen. Even if I didn't notice that, if I plug 2 in here, I get 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 times anything is 0. I get a 0 in the denominator. That can't happen. So since all my work is correct, and the one answer I got I can't use, I actually have to say, I have to write this down. I have to say no solution. Can't do it. You don't leave it blank because I'm going to think you didn't know what to do. You answer no solution in that situation. So we're going to find those LCDs. Focus on that first. Think about multiplying each term by the LCD, but write down what cancels. And then let all of your old techniques and skills take over. If it's a quadratic, solve the quadratic. If it's linear, solve the linear. And then finally, take that answer, compare it to the denominators, and make sure it doesn't make them equal 0. If it makes the denominator 0, chuck it out. Good luck.